Impossible. Only my wife knows that song. But Ethan failed to catch the young boy, because he ran so fast and vanished like a bubble. No. No way. That's all Ethan could say to himself, as he stared again at the people passing by his spot, while he sat on the ground. He knew it had been a long time, but Ethan was certain that even after all these years, the memory of Lily was still etched in his heart. Welcome to Dark Voices. Get ready for a story that will grip your heart and keep you hooked until the very end. Stay with me, Mr. Hope, and I promise you will be delighted, thrilled, and inspired by this amazing story. Enjoy. Ethan was an influential man. A business tycoon, some would call him. As clean as his clothes were, his hands were just as dirty. You won't succeed in life without a bit of illegality. That was Ethan's life philosophy. He saw people as toys he could buy when he wanted and discard when he was done. But then Lily came into the picture. Like Ethan, she was influential, too. But unlike Ethan, Lily was the opposite. She was influential. And as clean as her clothes were, her character was even purer. Can you imagine two opposites forced together in a marriage neither wanted? Here's where it gets intense on Dark Voices. Under an arranged marriage, Ethan married Lily. He didn't care about her. To Ethan, Lily was no thrill. She was too simple a woman. Days and weeks passed. Lily took care of everything. But Ethan didn't care, since he knew it was all about business. Sometimes Lily would find out that another business partner had been taken down, because they'd been reckless with a contract. No one could fool Ethan. He was terrifying. His influence was so strong. He could control anything he wanted. That's why Lily was always careful with her actions. But Lily was only human. She had her limits. And Ethan tested those limits. What time will you be home, so I can prepare for you? No need. I'll eat out. What brand of shirt do you want? I'm going to the mall later. Just anything. What do you want? Just do what you like and stop asking me. Don't you have your own decisions? Lily froze at Ethan's sudden shout. She couldn't believe he was yelling at her, so she quickly grabbed a vase and smashed it on the floor. Excuse me, I'm the one taking care of you. You're the one yelling at me. For your information, I'm just doing my job as your wife. You could at least be grateful. I've been putting up with you for 3 years. Did I tell you to act like that? We're only married on paper. This is pure business. I never told you to put up with me. Do you know why I had to pay for this marriage? Because your attitude is so bad. No one else could stand you. Lily's loud shout followed, as Ethan grabbed something and shattered it into pieces. Lily was shocked. Do you know why I had to pay your family? Because you were broke. And if I hadn't agreed, you'd probably still be on the streets begging for pennies. You owe me big time, so you should be grateful. Lily slapped Ethan hard, making him stagger, because he didn't expect it. No one had ever dared to slap him or cross him, because everyone knew what could happen to them. Did you just slap me? Ethan asked in disbelief. What, are you going to hit me? Will you kill me to shut me up? What? What? They didn't speak to each other after that night. It didn't matter to Lily, because that's how it always was. But the next day, as usual, Lily did her job as a good wife. She prepared breakfast, but Ethan treated her like a ghost or a breeze. I told you, Lily, it takes time. You know, it's just an arranged marriage. Why do you keep forcing yourself with your husband? Ugh. It's so frustrating. I'm the one making the effort here. He doesn't even eat the food I prepare. Sometimes I just make leftovers from last night, because I know he won't eat it. If it weren't for you, ma'am, I wouldn't have agreed to this setup. What? I know what made him attractive, but that's also what makes his attitude so bad. His eyes are always glaring, like I did something to him. So arrogant. Calm down, Lily. If he doesn't appreciate your efforts, then turn the tables. Mirror method. Do to him what he does to you. You'll see. He'll change. And stop being clingy. You don't love each other, so why act like that? You're so creepy. Sometimes I don't know how we became friends. Kira, by the way, I have to go to the company. I need to vent to Mom besides you. Once this contract is over, I'm getting as far away as possible. It's so annoying. Why did it have to be a 5-year contract? We're not even poor. Dad acts like he's limitless. You'd think he was the one dealing with that jerk. Lily quickly got to work after the call ended. She didn't let the opportunity pass and headed straight to their company. She could see the changes in their company since Ethan invested in it. Dear, this is part of life. Besides, love isn't important anymore. What we need is a luxurious life. And to keep this company stable, you can marry anyone, but they have to be as wealthy as we are. Keep that in mind. But Mom, as I was telling you earlier, I can't understand what he wants. It's so frustrating. I have to deal with this. Why did you marry me off to that guy? Why, do you have someone else in mind to replace him? Remember, your sister Rachel is only 15. You're the older one, and you'll be her role model. So do it for the sake of our company. After 5 years, you can marry anyone. Just wait. I don't even want to marry anyone. Lily said, and her mother just laughed. Meanwhile, Ethan was in a meeting known by almost everyone. Beneath his cold-hearted aura and straight face, there was a kindness that was rarely seen. So, how's your wife? Hasn't she given up yet? One of Ethan's colleagues suddenly said, she's different. Hard to read. Maybe after this 5-year contract, she'll disappear like a bullet. I'd prefer that, Ethan said lifelessly. Dude, that'll be your big loss. Think about it. She puts up with your attitude. No one's lasted a year with you. Look at how many people want to take you down. If you don't want your wife, why not let her go and give her to someone else? Who knows? All these years, someone might just be waiting for you to let her go. Another colleague chimed in, making Ethan flinch. Yeah, and he knows other men are eyeing his spot, and he's noticing it. But the nerve of this guy butting into the conversation. What? Chill, dude. I'm just saying take care of your wife. It's easier to steal a tied-up chicken. Ethan couldn't hold back anymore. He stood up, about to swing, but they were quickly stopped. Lily decided to change her usual routine. She heard the condo door open. She didn't prepare any food. Ethan arrived, and Lily didn't even greet him. To her, Ethan was like a bubble at that moment, which surprised him. He saw the table with no food prepared. Lily stood up, about to head to the bedroom, when Ethan grabbed her arm. Where are you going? To sleep? Do you need something? Ethan scratched his head, not expecting Lily's response. He was used to her taking care of him, so he was shocked there was no food on the table. Even his coat wasn't taken by Lily. Nothing, just rest, was all Ethan could say as he let go of Lily. She just shrugged and went to the bedroom. Ethan knew he was at fault, and it bothered him, because he wasn't used to Lily acting this way. It went on for almost 2 weeks because of their conflict. Their interactions grew colder, which suited Lily. She left the condo whenever she wanted. She stopped telling Ethan, as if he cared. Lily kept her mouth shut when Ethan was in the condo. She had plenty to rant about when he wasn't there. For those 2 weeks, Ethan couldn't understand it. It bothered him every time he didn't hear Lily talking to him. So, what if there's CCTV here? Hey, you're the man. How dare you yell at me? You have no respect. Just wait until our contract is over. I'll slap you for real. Lily shouted at the condo's CCTV. She stopped only when the doorbell rang, revealing Ethan with his usual emotionless face. Lily went quiet, sat on the sofa, and turned on the smart TV. Here, take this, Ethan said, handing her a bouquet of flowers. Lily took it with a raised eyebrow. What am I supposed to do with this? Throw it if you don't want it, Ethan replied, heading to his separate room, since they didn't share one. Moments later, Lily stood up and grabbed a vase to put the flowers in, since they weren't artificial. He thinks he can win me over with flowers. If I know he's just feeling guilty, muttering words, I'll throw them and make you accept them. Ethan suddenly spoke from behind her. After saying this, he left again, grabbing his jacket from the rack. Doesn't work, Ethan said to his close friend when he arrived at the company's CEO's office. Dude, it won't work right away. If you're sorry, at least do it more than once. You think flowers are magic? The hardest thing to deal with is an angry woman. So deal with it, Ethan. I thought it would work right away. It looked like she wanted to throw the flowers at me. I just don't get it. Ben, try sending her something she likes. Why not send yourself? Dude, your office is fully air-conditioned, but outside air still gets in. What? Ethan realized Ben's comment late and was about to throw a cushion at him, but Ben dodged first. I'm serious, Ethan said, frustrated, making Ben laugh. Do things she likes, and maybe she'll forgive you. I don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm sure of one thing, and that's for you to find out. They paused when Ethan's female secretary entered with a stack of papers. Ethan knew what they were. They let her set them down before continuing their topic. Meanwhile, Lily decided to go out of town. She was bored with her life, since she wasn't yet managing her parents' company, as they could still handle it. What she needed was to deal with her life and be a good wife for 5 years. She quickly agreed with herself. Just as she opened the condo door, she was shocked to see Ethan outside with another bouquet. Take this. Where are you going? I realized I wanted to go out of town alone, since you're busy. I'm always here in the condo. I don't want to just lie around. I'm close to becoming a patient. Why bother to stay? When? Right now. Have you booked your tickets? Are you using a private plane? Ethan's rapid questions puzzled Lily. Huh? Was all she could say. She was surprised by his tone, as if he actually cared about her. Do you think she likes? Maybe she'll forgive you. I don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm sure of one thing, and that's for you to find out. Ben's voice echoed in Ethan's head. He paused, and Lily noticed him staring. Should I be honest? It's just weird that you're acting like this when you never cared about what I did before. What's your deal? I'm coming with you, and that's my deal. Wait for me here. Lily was speechless and let Ethan do his thing. He quickly returned, and she followed him to the car. He didn't say where they were going. It was awkward in the car. The only sound was the music playing. Where do you plan to go? Ethan broke the silence. Lily swallowed before answering. I don't know. Just wherever my feet take me. I just want to get far away. Ethan nodded at her response. Can we go somewhere instead? I'm sure you'll like it. Lily just shrugged at his suggestion. When they reached the airport, they didn't take a private plane, though they could have. Ethan ensured their safety, since their lives were at risk. After a lookout confirmed the flight was safe, they boarded. The trip was quick, taking only 4 hours and 35 minutes. After landing, a car was waiting for them, and they went straight to a condo to rest. Lily didn't say much, busy observing her surroundings. She was used to going out of town, but not with anyone other than friends or family. Ethan was family as her husband, but she still wasn't used to it. She wanted to complain, but was too shy. Since she didn't know where to go, she followed Ethan's lead. It felt like she had no energy to decide for herself anymore. They arrived at Mount Hood, a place that didn't seem to fit the heaviness Lily carried in her chest. The air was cool, peaceful, but no matter how serene it was, something still felt missing inside her. They hung out near a viewpoint overlooking the mountain's peak, shrouded in clouds. While Ethan was busy buying coffee nearby, Lily stood quietly, her eyes scanning the surroundings. She watched happy people taking photos, couples, families, backpackers. Everyone seemed so joyful, while she didn't know what to do. She was with Ethan, but didn't know why or what. She just wanted peace, even for a moment. After spending time at Mount Hood, just observing passers-by, Ethan took Lily to a restaurant. There were hardly any people inside, so Ethan walked in confidently. It looks like they're closed. There's no one here, and they're using dim lights. It's reserved for us. Lily looked at Ethan in shock and confusion, but he acted like it was nothing. As they entered, a waiter appeared from somewhere, guiding them to a table for two with two lit candles. Lily hadn't noticed earlier that there was a musician playing soft, calming music in the background. What a setup. It's like we're on a date. Next time, a normal restaurant is fine. My parents didn't raise me to splurge on food. This is too much, Lily said while cutting her steak. She was surprised when Ethan took it and swapped it with his already cut steak. I'll keep that in mind. Lily was shocked, not just by what Ethan said, but by his gesture of giving her the cut steak. She stayed silent, and they ate. Where do you want to go tomorrow? Ethan suddenly asked. Lily looked up, puzzled. Don't you have business matters? This is my business, right? Why am I even surprised? This is business for you, too. I can manage myself. You can do whatever you want. Wait, you got it wrong. I didn't mean it's business. I'm here because I have a responsibility to you. I'm your husband, and we're on a date. A date? Lily asked in disbelief, not expecting those words from Ethan's mouth. A man with lifeless eyes and a demeanor full of resentment when you looked at him. Yes, a date, Ethan said, smiling at her. Lily didn't know what to do. It was the first time she saw him smile. She couldn't explain her feelings, and it felt like her heart would burst from its intense beating. Excuse me, where's the restroom? Lily called to the waiter and quickly stood up. So annoying, right? Calm down, Lily. This can't be. He's probably just in a good mood. That's why he's doing this. No way. I know he's handsome, but Lily muttered to herself in the restroom, frustrated. She couldn't hold back and called her friend, who just laughed. Girl, trust me, you're falling for that Ethan guy. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, since he's your husband. But what would your parents think? That's not what I'm thinking about. I can settle things easily with mom and dad. What I don't understand is myself. Have you seen Ethan smile? It's so rare. And then he said, this is a date. I'm done. I'm escaping from here. I'm not going back to our table. Lily left the restroom. She didn't want to linger, not wanting Ethan to notice her system was going haywire from his actions. She was shocked to see another bouquet by their table. She just smiled at Ethan and continued eating. I don't know if I should say this, but have you forgotten what day it'll be tomorrow? Lily thought for a moment, unable to recall anything special. It wasn't her birthday or her family's, and she couldn't remember any plans. Our anniversary? Ethan answered his own question. Lily froze, suddenly remembering that tomorrow was the day, like the one when she started living a life she didn't choose. Tomorrow's the day. I guess 4 years ago. Yeah. They continued eating and returned to their hotel in Portland. Wait, there's only one room here. Ethan, really? I can sleep on the sofa. You can have the bed. Lily didn't say anything. It suited her. So, she went into the room. She fell asleep quickly after updating her friend that she was back at the apartment. But in the middle of the night, Lily suddenly woke up. She went out to get water and saw Ethan uncomfortable on the sofa, which was too small for his size. She was about to approach him when he suddenly turned, and their eyes met. Can't sleep, just thirsty. You okay there? You seem uncomfortable. I'm fine. Move to the bed. Your back will hurt there. Ethan looked at Lily again to confirm her suggestion. When she nodded, he went inside. Now Lily didn't know how to face him. He was already in the room, seemingly fast asleep, so she entered quietly. She was shocked to see Ethan sitting up. "You okay? Are you uncomfortable?" "I just have trouble sleeping. Been like that for a while, and I forgot my sleeping pills." "Want me to sing to you?" "Back then, when I couldn't sleep, I'd hug Mom, and she'd sing to me to help me fall asleep." Lily forgot her shyness and sat beside Ethan. She was surprised when he leaned on her. She could hear her heartbeat, but endured it, running her fingers through his hair while humming softly. Ethan gradually felt sleepy, something new to him. There was something in Lily's voice and actions that calmed his system. When Lily felt Ethan grow heavy, she knew he was asleep, so she moved slightly to break the embrace. But she failed as Ethan's grip tightened. So Lily stayed in that position and soon fell asleep herself. When she woke up the next morning, she noticed Ethan wasn't beside her. She frowned. She was used to him being there quietly, even when awake, not leaving until she was up. She moved back on the bed, trying to recall if anything happened last night, but her thoughts were interrupted by a sound from the kitchen. She smelled something cooking. She got up quietly, approached, and peeked through the door. She wasn't mistaken. She saw a man's figure, back turned, flipping steak in a pan. He wore a black tank top. His hair was slightly messy, but still neat. He could practically be a model from any angle. A masterpiece. He seemed skilled at cooking based on his movements. Lily couldn't take her eyes off him, especially when he removed his apron, revealing the sculpt of his broad shoulders. She swallowed, laughing at her own thoughts. But when Ethan suddenly turned, she was startled and stood straight. "Ethan," she said softly. He gave her a big smile. "Eat up." "I cooked something for you," he said, pointing to the small table with 2 plates already prepared. Even though Ethan was like that, Lily wasn't used to his behavior. So endearing, so scary, too good to be true. So, she guarded her heart as much as possible, afraid that in the end, she'd drown, and no one would catch her. She closed her eyes briefly, unable to believe what she saw. "With all the time, why'd you pick that outfit?" Ethan was puzzled by Lily's comment. It wasn't intentional when Lily spilled water on him, revealing the shape of his body through the wet shirt. "I felt like wearing this one." "Thanks for making it wet," Ethan said. And Lily quickly apologized, which he accepted. But she didn't believe he forgave her that easily. She followed him and was shocked when he suddenly turned, causing her to bump into his chest. "Wait, this is too much. What's going on? Are you sick? Why'd you cook?" Ethan laughed immediately. You could tell it wasn't forced, because his eyes showed he was happy. "Nope," he said, adjusting his gaze. "It's our anniversary." "Happy anniversary." Lily froze in place. Before she could speak, Ethan approached and gently kissed her forehead. She couldn't say anything. She felt stuck in time. She didn't expect it. She couldn't believe it. Honestly, she didn't know how to react. The man before her now was so different from the Ethan she knew. The Ethan always surrounded by walls. The Ethan who seemed not to care about anyone around him. Now he was soft, quiet, and always smiling. Lily looked at the food as she returned to the table, letting Ethan change. Steak, some salmon, and plain rice. She didn't know if she could touch it. It looked good enough to compete in plating. She grabbed her phone and decided to take a picture before eating. When Ethan returned to the table, Lily continued her earlier question. "Anniversary?" She repeated. "I know we don't think about it," she said as she sat. "I know, but we can work things out, right? Just because we're married on paper doesn't mean we can't. At least sometimes. Let ourselves be happy. Let ourselves act like a real couple." Lily was quiet. She didn't know if she should be happy, awkward, or scared, because the longer it went on, the softer her heart became, and that's what she feared. "Let's just eat," Ethan invited. When they finished, Ethan cleaned up their plates. Lily wasn't used to it, because she used to take care of him, even though he never touched her cooking. She wanted to ask why, but couldn't, afraid she wouldn't like his answer. Lily was slowly falling for Ethan. She didn't want to admit it, but she felt it every time she told herself she didn't love him, her chest tightening more. Every night as they lay side by side in the hotel room near Mount Hood, she tried not to get used to Ethan's presence. She couldn't afford to get hurt over false assumptions. Sure, Ethan was becoming kinder, something she'd known about him. She didn't know if his actions were out of guilt or something else. Since Lily learned about Ethan's trauma, he had become more open with her. Ethan didn't understand what was happening, but something inside him was delighted, especially when he discovered he could fall asleep quickly whenever he heard Lily's voice. "Do you want to go back, or should we stay here in Oregon for a while?" "Up to you. I don't feel like traveling yet. I just want to chill away from stress." "But the source of my stress came along," Lily said softly. So Ethan didn't hear the last part. They decided to dine outside, especially since the weather in Oregon was nice. At a fine dining restaurant on the 43rd floor of a hotel overlooking Portland's quiet skyline, a glass of red wine sat in front of them. A classical quartet played softly in the background, and the chandelier's light cast a perfect glow on Lily's face. "I've been meaning to watch that film, Anatomy of a Fall," Lily said, staring at her glass, "but I never found the right time or person to watch it with." Ethan stayed quiet. Instead of responding immediately, he observed her. There was something cool yet refined in how Lily said it, as if she wasn't aware of how heavy that simple line was. After a short pause, he spoke as if stating a fact, not offering. "Then let me be that person. No further explanation, no theatrics." Ethan didn't like grand gestures. He simply made things happen, which suited Lily. A few hours later, they were in an exclusive private cinema suite at a luxury hotel. Dim lighting, silk-lined walls, imported leather seats, a tray of handmade macarons, perfect for the movie, chilled champagne, and discreet staff who vanished after pressing play. They respected their privacy. Lily sat poised, legs crossed, a soft cashmere shawl draped over her shoulders. Ethan sat beside her, equally composed, sipping his drink in silence. On screen, the film began with a soft instrumental and slow fade-in. At first, Ethan tried to watch properly. He didn't exactly enjoy dramas, especially quiet ones. But tonight, he didn't mind. He accepted everything as long as it made Lily happy, and he didn't know why he was like that, as if he was enchanted by the place. While Lily was absorbed in the movie, Ethan occasionally glanced at her. There was something about her when she wasn't trying. Her natural self when she wasn't guarded. Her eyes didn't just watch the film. They absorbed it. But as the minutes passed, Ethan felt something unusual. His eyes grew heavy, too heavy. It wasn't just sleepiness. He noticed Lily enjoying the movie, and her humming made him sleepy. It crossed his mind. He tried to refocus, but the screen blurred. Lily looked up and noticed. "Ethan?" she asked softly. He didn't answer immediately. He slowly leaned back in his chair. With an instinct she didn't understand, Lily moved. She carefully took the glass from his hand and set it aside. Before his eyes fully closed, she gently guided his head to lean on her shoulder. Ethan didn't resist, which surprised her more than anything. The man who was used to being admired and obeyed, who controlled people's emotions and lived for it, the same man who once scared her with his silence, was now asleep, vulnerable, and quietly resting on her. She didn't move or flinch. Instead, she stared at the screen, but her thoughts were elsewhere. His head was heavy on her shoulder, but that wasn't what mattered. What was heavier was the realization that she could let him do whatever he wanted to her in the future, because she was slowly falling, and she wanted Ethan there with her. Out of nowhere, she began to hum so soft it was barely audible, like it came from her chest, like an instinct to comfort someone, like a lullaby, not a song. She didn't know why she was doing it, but she couldn't stop. Ethan breathed deeply, and for the first time, she saw him truly at peace. "He trusts me." That's when she got nervous. Every part of Ethan fascinated her. She liked the shape of his face, appreciated how he breathed, how comfortable he looked asleep. The film played on, but Lily barely followed it anymore. She didn't need to finish the story. Her own life story had begun. Even if she tried to follow, she'd get confused, especially since Ethan, now wrapping his arm around her, drew her attention more. She let it be at first, but felt the urge to use the restroom, interrupting Ethan's deep sleep as she gently removed his arm. He woke slowly, his eyes still sleepy, and looked at her. His warm hand slipped from her arm as she whispered, half confused, "Where are you going?" Lily froze, awkward in her position, still holding his hand, trying not to make sudden movements. But the way he looked at her was like a child left in the middle of a dream. "Just the restroom," she whispered softly, almost asking for permission. "I'll be back." Ethan bit his lip and nodded, but he didn't let go of her hand right away, as if reluctant to release her, even though he knew she wasn't going far. "Okay," he said softly, slowly letting go. Lily smiled, stood gently, and walked out of the private cinema suite. Ethan stayed behind, still reclining. He couldn't fall back asleep. Something about that simple moment stuck with him, the way Lily caressed his hand as she removed it, the tenderness in her voice, her hesitation to leave without waking him. It wasn't like her. And that's when he realized she was letting him in. Not just letting him sleep on her shoulder or sit beside her, but starting to care for Ethan. He wasn't doing this just to win her back. He knew he enjoyed her company. Deep down, he was falling for her, but still in denial about admitting it. "Kiara. Oh my gosh. Didn't I tell you I wanted to be far from Ethan? I'm with him in Oregon, and I thought he'd go back right away, but no. We're at the cinema, and you won't believe what he did to me." Kiara couldn't get a word in as Lily kept talking, unsure of what to do. She recounted everything, her frustration clear, and Kiara just laughed, because despite Lily's denials, her voice screamed she was head over heels. "No, I'm just confused. I don't like him." "No, Kiara. I know you're just teasing me. Believe me, Lily, if you could hear yourself right now, you'd say the same." Lily ended the call and returned to their private spot. Ethan hadn't fallen back asleep, and the movie was almost at its end. They ate at the restaurant afterward, then returned to the hotel to rest. Since they planned to return to the US the next day, they had many responsibilities, especially Ethan, the company's CEO. And every time he was away, they lost billions. The next afternoon, Lily sat quietly on the small balcony of their suite in Portland, holding her phone, scrolling through old family pictures. Her heart tightened. She missed home. Her chest felt heavy, but she gathered the courage to tell Ethan. "Ethan," she said softly, her eyes still gazing into the distance. "I think I need to go home now." Ethan at the coffee table looked up, a slight shock on his face, though he didn't show it too much. "Back to the US?" he asked calmly with a hint of sadness in his voice. Lily nodded. "Yeah, I miss them. My mom, my siblings, everyone. And I know you have a lot to finish there, too. I don't want you to stay behind just for me." Ethan was quiet for a moment, thinking. Then he stood, walked over, and sat beside her. "Lily," he said tenderly, looking at her face. "I don't say this often, but I want you to know I'm not holding you back. If going home makes you feel at peace, then go. But I also want you to know that if I stayed here, it's not because I had to, but because I wanted to be with you." Lily's eyes slowly welled up. She wanted to cry, but held it back. She just smiled and nodded slightly. "I know, and I'm thankful." Ethan took a deep breath and smiled, too. "There's a catch." Lily frowned. "What's that now?" Ethan was amused by her reaction. "Come with me to Miami. I already planned it." He pulled out his phone and showed her the saved itinerary. "You can bring Kiara or anyone you want. Ben will come too, so it won't just be us." "Wait, are you serious?" Lily asked, laughing a bit. "Do I ever joke about vacations?" Ethan replied with a grin. "Besides, I heard you laugh around Kiara. I like it. You're more relaxed when she's there." Lily laughed. "Fine, I'm in. But I want beachfront, okay? I want to open my eyes and see the ocean right away. Consider it done, Ethan said with a wink. When they returned to the US, Lily went straight to her family's mansion. Her youngest sibling hugged her, and her mother was thrilled to see her. You've gained some weight. You look healthy, her mother said, laughing. Because I found love, Kara chimed in as she followed Lily inside. Lily said, covering Kara's mouth. Kara just waved, laughing. For a few days, Lily was busy catching up with her family. She cooked for them, helped her sibling with homework, and stayed up late watching TV shows with her mother. Even though it was simple, she felt a joy and peace she hadn't felt in a long time. Meanwhile, Ethan was busy, too, catching up on company duties, multiple board meetings, contract signings, and an exclusive interview he scheduled to quickly address the press about his sudden disappearance. But behind his serious CEO image, he was restless. Missing Lily had become part of his day. Their marriage wasn't publicized, since combining their surnames could threaten other companies. One night during a video call with Lily. Hey, when are you coming back? Ethan asked, leaning back on his hotel bed in Chicago, exhausted but smiling brightly at the screen. Ugh, maybe I won't, Lily teased, sitting on a swivel chair with her phone to her ear. We're married. You know I can cancel everything. Just say yes. You really want to guilt trip me? Lily laughed, but seriously. Ethan's tone turned serious. I miss you. Lily looked at the screen, stunned, and for a moment she couldn't respond. Then she softly said, I miss you too. She quickly ended the call and let out a loud squeal. Her mother knocked, startled by the noise, wondering what happened. When she opened the door, she was shocked by what she saw. But Lily's face was bright red. She didn't know what to do. She suddenly felt calm and wanted to be productive. The next day, her family was surprised by her actions. They had maids in the mansion, but Lily offered to do the laundry herself, which made everyone laugh. They knew how soft her hands were, and she'd never done laundry before. While having coffee with Kara on the veranda, she mentioned the Miami trip. Kara, want to come to Miami? Since you don't have a boyfriend, maybe it's your time to shine. What am I, coming? Lily asked. Of course. Beachfront. Okay. No cheap trips. Kara replied, laughing. A week later, the day of the Miami trip arrived. Ethan arrived early to pick up Lily and Kara at the mansion. That morning, Lily was already overwhelmed by Kara's plans, what she wanted to see, and how she'd take pictures of everything. Lily kept wishing they'd get there already, and Ethan would pick them up. When Ethan arrived, he was in all black, trousers, a fitted linen shirt slightly open at the collar, and sunglasses that didn't look like they were just bought at a mall. Let's make this short trip feel like luxury, he texted Lily the night before. When Lily and Kara walked out of the mansion, Ethan and Lily locked eyes, not out of any mischief, but because they both thought something should happen between Kara and Ben. Inside the matte black SUV, Lily sat in the passenger seat next to Ethan. In the back, Kara sat beside Ben, who was quietly looking out the window. You know what? Lily whispered to Ethan as they drove. I really hope Kara falls in love. They deserve some romantic moments. Ethan smiled, a dangerous but gentle smile. Leave that to me, he whispered back. I have a few tricks in mind. Hey, what are you whispering about? Kara asked from the back. Nothing secret, Lily said, hiding her face behind her hair. Ben looked at Kara. Excited for the beach?